Hiya folks, I'm Grimith, and this is the Let's Get All That January 2019 channel update. We'll start off by saying, Happy New Year! And then asking you all whether you think it's socially or personally acceptable to say Happy New Year to others at this point in the new year. Write your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. This month has been nearly single-minded in channel purpose. After hammering out hardware and software settings, I finished off the rest of Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. That series is complete. Total time of the save length is around 57 hours for story and post-story content. Not only is it my favorite game of 2018, the series I've done is one of my favorite series on this channel. Give it some time for my historian brain to, suss out the details, and it may end up being my most favorite, best, wonderfulest, valuable series. Let's get on with it, ever, in history. I delight in that game and sharing it with folks. It was a wonderful experience, well worth my time and money invested. Now, as an aside, while I was doing that series, which involved like a reflections video, I had the novel 1984 out on my desk, which I talked about. I made an imperfect analogy between Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass and George Orwell's 1984. Well, in the process of sussing out hardware and software details, that involved me setting up mounting my microphone onto a stand. This microphone stand I got as a Christmas gift, but I never ended up setting it up. My father became terminally ill around that time, and the desk that I used was an office desk, and the mount didn't quite work onto it due to the lip of it. So I looked up some detail on how to properly set this up. I found a nice reference point, which also uses my microphone, and that basically looks like my pop filter as well. If you take a closer look, you'll notice 1984 there in the screenshot, and it fucking spooked me. So once I recovered from it, I used it as a nice reference point for how I wanted to configure the microphone stand, the mount. It's different. I'm not used to the microphone being this way. I bump it on a number of occasions, but I think my audio quality is all right. It's not the greatest, most wondrous it's ever been, but it's also not the worst thing ever. You flip back through my older videos, especially when I was using the microphone built into a laptop. Plenty of audio artifacts and clipping that's been picked up over the years. But now it's so pure, it's so wondrous. Anyway, that was a lovely little tangent. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass is done, and that's basically been the channel's focus this month. Other than some Axes and Acres broadcasts, of which I uploaded one of 3, where I hammered out those settings. You can see the video for that there. Now, I do have one other ongoing series, which, as it turns out, now is my only ongoing series, and that is Star Ocean: The Second Story. Before the computer issues last month and my transition to the new computer, we just finished the Hoffman Ruins. I was aggregating some data to do a grand sweep of private actions and then polish off the rest of Disc 1. Well, with the new computer, I don't have the emulator installed. I haven't configured it yet for Star Ocean: The Second Story. And I have received one message about when or whether I was going to resume that series. Star Ocean: The Second Story is certainly not the most popular series I've ever done on the channel, and that is due to the game. I don't think it has aged particularly well. My channel has not been devoted to games like that, and, I appreciated the game more the last time I played it, a decade ago. Since then, my tastes in gaming have changed, and all the anime tropes and the characters and the story are just colossally stupid. I think the gameplay is good, but unlike, say, with Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, where the gameplay and story, support each other and carry through, Star Ocean: The Second Story just... the story just leaves the gameplay to flounder. In my personal experience and opinion, as far as I'm concerned. But don't worry, it's my only ongoing series now, so this week I'm gonna get the emulator set back up, and I'm gonna reconfigure it for Star Ocean the Second Story, and then we're gonna plow through... We're going to plow through the rest of Disc 1, and perhaps I'll continue into Disc 2. I did warn at the start of the series that I probably wouldn't keep playing after Disc 1. Maybe I'll change my mind, I don't know. So yeah, I'll be able to devote my attention and focus to that. I have been otherwise occupied this month. Some events have occurred, which have been time-consuming in nature. There's not been as much time for me to spend playing games, and I have not had as much focus to talk while playing those games. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass ended up, like, I persevered through that because I really wanted to keep playing and sharing that. But I don't have that much energy for Star Ocean the Second Story. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass just ended up being a delightful exception where there's been plenty of series that I've been in the process of doing that have faltered off as my energy has waned due to, you know, my father's illness and then his death, for example, where I just haven't had, like, the same drive. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass is so exceptional that I was able to keep through that. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. Time spent making trips and waiting in areas, it's not great, and my mind having some trouble. I have taken the time this month to enjoy a few video game things. There was Battletech, which Lethal Feline gifted me, which I last played at the first of the year. 20 hours in a total. It's an alright game, but it's got a few issues. On broadcasting for, like, hardware and software testing, I did Payday 2 and then Axis and Acres. I tried out Stellar Monarch as well, but I ended up returning that game. Didn't quite do it for me. I've got a near-weekly, like, multiplayer game of, like, Total War Warhammer 2 that I'm going through. There, of course, is Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, and I finally got around to trying out Expeditions Viking, which I got a free key for from Logic Artist due to what I did with Expeditions Conquistador. There was no obligation for me to do a series attached to it, so I didn't. And I like, after like several hours spent in Expeditions Viking, the game, enough that I'm thinking about doing a series of it after I finish my, like, exploratory playthrough. But that game has some issues. The music's not as good as Conquistador. The gameplay is probably better. You get your own personal avatar. But there's something in the design that really aggravates me in a way Conquistador didn't. We'll talk more about that should I get around to a series of that. On that note, something I've been considering in a series on is Total War Warhammer 2. The Festag update just went live, and I thought maybe, you know, although this is not a Total War channel, this is certainly a channel that I do enjoy strategy games. And it's been a while since we've really hammered out some strategy. And I thought it would go hand in hand with a series I will be starting as part of the Rewarding the Rewarders opportunity, yeah, back to that list, of Total War Shogun 2. Or Shogun Total War 2. I spent some time trying to get the original, like, Shogun Total War to work. The request was primarily for 2, but it was written as if it related to 1, and so I wanted to be fancy and try to get 1 to work, and I just couldn't get it to record in a way that satisfied me. So I got the second one. I picked it up during the holiday sale, and I don't expect to have that many issues with that, and we'll go through a campaign of that. I've never played it. I have seen some gameplay of that before, but I am familiar with Total War games, so I don't expect it to be too much of a hassle. We'll have a series of that, and then I figure hand in hand we could also have me doing a Warhammer thing for funsies. I haven't quite decided what faction I'll play yet. Probably something where I can relax, like a very hard, Vlad von Karstein campaign, because I haven't played him in the second game yet. And, I do enjoy Vlad. Yeah. So, there's your idea for future channel activities. I'll probably pick up something light that isn't strategy from the Rewarding the Rewarders list and go through that too. Haven't decided specifically what that will be yet. Probably something that involves a lot of reading, though. Like continuing like that Hero Project trilogy, which like I'm gonna scroll through and find that now. I wanted to do that earlier last year, and just like my throat. It's been 2 years, folks, and I permanently won't talk the same like I used to after everything that happened to start 2017. And it was a very busy time. It was a very wonderful time, speaking like 18 hours a day for 2 months and streaming and stuff I was doing off stream. And then my throat completely collapsed. And then I had a serious allergy reaction and I got sick. It just worsened from there.
But you know, sometimes
I can summon it up again.
But not often. Alright, so that takes care of what to expect for the channel. I will do what I can to create content and present it to you folks. I am going through some stuff that doesn't show signs of stopping, and that's the most I would like to talk about it. Yeah, creating some real strain on me. But we'll see what we can do. Okie dokie, okie dokie. What else? So, I've noted this before in various updates. You got, like, your Discord channel, which, by the way, has 666 members, so don't join it at discord.gg/Grimith. There's, like, a channel for general discussion, and then there's, like, a role-playing discussion. Haven't been able to moderate those too well due to my activities. This avatar is part of fan work that Slacksor made for me years back. A nice artist. Very kind and generous with his time. Obviously, the Doom avatar there, taking some damage. There is Twitter, where I have devoted myself to making pithy tweets to harvest your likes. Where, not too long ago, I went to use my microwave, and thought that 1 minute and 25 seconds was a larger number than 85 seconds. I've also been aggregating data about whether you must gather your party before venturing forth, construct additional pylons, or frown at character limits. Participated in advancing AI dynamics of 10 years of aging and everything. Good times all around. Very, very important to harvest those likes. You know, to salve my wounded ego and pride after everything that's happened. But there is one other activity which I will find the time to participate in. I'm reckoning because I make terrible life choices, and that is role-playing related, though it will not be uploaded onto my channel. I was invited into a Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition campaign, which I have some experience with, but it's been several years. I do have the Summer of Fun campaign that got uploaded to this channel, if I can spell, back in the summer of 2013. That was headed by Rahal Jonas of Haldemir and Rahal. I was the Diva Wizard, Solora Soriasu, and we did, like, the Sandpoint game, which was, like, the start of an adventure path that was made for Pathfinder that Jonas adapted to 4E. Yeah. It was pretty fun and enjoyable. And going to be embarking on another 4th edition adventure. Jonas Rahal will be one of the players, along with Sheep, who is in that game. He'll be another player as well. The campaign is custom made. It's got some homebrew material attached to it. I'm gonna be a fucking dragon. We're all gonna be dragons. Yeah. Dragons. I know, right? There's a little primer document that talks about dreads of the Dragon Coast. We had a Session 0, which wasn't recorded at all. There's not even going to be an intro video for it. There's almost always been Session 0 intro videos on Haldemir and Rahal, but that has not been the case. Some details about the campaign. I will scroll slowly to give you folks time to pause and read over these things yourself. There's some opportunity here. But boy, oh boy, are our characters weak. We start off weaker than level 1 characters, effectively. It would better to be Dragonborn than this custom race that we have of being a true dragon. And that's in large part due to the long story, the ritual that is negatively impacting our characters. We are very weak. And it is unfortunate that we are so weakened. It's the curse of lethargy. There we go. So yeah, there's a long story. And we got further details about the story together. It's great fun. Essentially, our souls have been bound by a lore-appropriate diviner, Yaffle, in the Forgotten Realms, who has foreseen her fate, and she bargained with Asmodeus, has bound our souls into a ritual reincarnation. She's going to continually eat us until she becomes ultra omega powerful, and we're going to try and stop that, because Hell would rather have her soul than the souls of us dragons. But Hell loves to increase its margins. I'm not doing a wonderful job of explaining the situation, but you're either going to be interested by this hook or not. The sessions are going to be happening Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. fucking Swedish and Denmark time and sheep's time. It's 8 p.m. for everyone else in the game except for me. It's 2 p.m. on a Friday. It's not the most convenient time. The sacrifices I make for these damn Europeans. Right, so let's go over a bit of the character. Let's do that. Also, let me show off their channel at Haldemir and Rahal. Their YouTube channel. I don't know at this point where Jonas is going to be broadcast in the game. He has a Mixer channel, mixer.com/Rahal, but it's possible that he might choose to broadcast the sessions onto YouTube. It's possible that he might transition to Twitch for this. I don't know yet. But if nothing else, look here. Okay, and I'll probably make an update about where this will be taking place on my Discord channel, discord.gg/Grimith, in the role-playing section, for when we're going to get started, if you're interested in joining in, and watching. I won't be much reading chat, but if you'd like to see us be really weak dragons trying to fight against a horrific curse, and doing some expert roleplay, then, yeah, come along for the ride. Or not. Just give it a spin, see how it goes. Yes, my character, Verdolith, is going to be a morbidly obese, a corpulent green dragon. Our character is around 6, so we're basically out of wormling age. She's going to be a battle mind, which, if you're unfamiliar with 4E, I've never played a battle mind before, is a defender role class, so I'm going to be mixing it up in melee, but it's psionically with a psionic power source. I've got very high constitution with a low dexterity. We've got compulsions in the game, which are a special feature that have been designed for a custom rule to connect with our draconic nature, and this compulsion will be coming into effect for each of us, because we each have our own compulsion over the course of the campaign. I'll give some time for you to pause and read this if you'd so like. In my character's particular case, my compulsion is no effort wasted. She is lazy, is not so keen on applying herself, and, yeah. I mean, if she's forced to, or she feels like she has to, she is a whirlwind of forceful energy that should not be underestimated, but she's corpulent for a reason. She tried very hard on being corpulent. It's not a thyroid issue. It's, her leathery skin bulges beneath her scales to the extent that, the scales haven't fully grown to cover all of that because of how much her waistline has grown. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. A little, tab here on background for the character. Where the character's from, how exactly her egg came to be, because all of our dragon eggs were ruined in some way, and then recovered by Yaffle the Diviner, and used to create her ritual. So in effect, we've been given life we wouldn't have otherwise had, but it's ultimately to fuel the existence of this Diviner. Our surrogate parent is Basarek the Twisted Marrow, who is a bone devil, who is taking care of us for our entire existence, per Lord Asmodeus' request. And he's been a wonderful parent. They, probably shouldn't assume the bone devil's gender, right? Terrible of me. A little bit of detail about the Curse of Lethargy and how you can see it won't be like a standard game. Short rests are not 5 minutes, they're a day in length, with long rests taking between 5 and 10 days. Time skips are going to occur with various rituals of reincarnation, like every time Yathel, and the vessel that she's currently in dies, is going to be draining power out of us. And a few personality descriptors for the character, like how she approaches life, based on how 4th editions, Player's Handbook asks these sort of things. Just, she could care more, but it's probably fine. Gotta enjoy life, Live without regret. With little nagging doubts and suspicion, in the back of her mind. We got some various skills. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Google Sheets Explorer. You are wonderful. Deeply enjoys having a good chat. If you are unfamiliar with Green Dragons, they love chatting with people. And she's no exception. She loves talking with others and perhaps manipulating and deceiving them. Not like a bargainer like black dragons are, but very, very much into having a good chat. I wouldn't say she's that wonderfully cunning, but she's sex. She's working on it, right? Hasn't seen a whole lot. We have armor check penalties. So, our dragon characters, if you didn't quite catch the details for our custom race, are... We get +2 to Constitution, +2 to one other ability score. We get a resistance based on our chosen dragon color, which for me is poison because of Green Dragon. I can use the Dragonborn Dragon Breath as an encounter power. I qualify for Dragonborn feats. I lose all starting equipment and proficiencies. I gain natural armor and natural weapon damage based on discarded proficiencies. For example, I can have Scale Mill armor, so I'm getting +7 to my armor class for that. And I'm also going to be using a heavy shield, essentially, so I've got +2 to armor class and reflex. But that incorporates an armor check penalty, which is being included despite the fact that I'm not actually using an armor or shield, but I'm a fucking dragon. I know, right? In addition, my built-in weapon is a Warhammer, so I'm dealing a d10 with my damage. And that Mimic Gear can count towards all of the feats and abilities. We got speed of 6 squares. We have a fly speed of 3, +1 every 10 levels. It's a fly speed, but with my armor reduction, it's a 2, so not anything to write home about, but it's a fly speed. I don't have a ranged weapon, so it's not like I can just fly in the air and go, woo, spring break. Because one of the things we weren't allowed to have is ranged weapons unless they were thrown, because draconic bodies can't mimic a longbow or crossbow, I guess. Low light vision. I got some battle mind stuff. Got my feet for me being a battle mind. And then I have my various powers. And if you're more into 4E, then you're going to have a better understanding of what all these powers correlate with. And if you don't, well, it's my first time playing a battle mind as well. You'll see when the party gets started. If you come along for the ride for the sessions, either live or uploaded to Haldemir and Rahal's YouTube channel. Got some conducted defense, some twisted eye, because I have PowerPoints that I end up recovering during my short rests, which are not 5 minutes, but a day. And then a few encounter powers and a daily. Okay, so that's that role-playing activity. I've been asked before on a number of occasions whether there's going to be another role-playing adventure that I embark on that can be viewed somewhere. This will not be going up on my channel, but instead on Haldemir and Rahal's, but I thought to inform you folks. There we go. That pretty much takes care of everything I have except for insulting people. We have, upcoming series, at base, waiting to get started after I finish Star Ocean, the second story, whether it's just the first disc or continue into the second one. It's most likely going to be just the first disc, but maybe I'll change my mind. We have a role-playing adventure I'm going to be embarking on. We have, some good stuff. And hopefully I'll gain more energy and chutzpah and be less invested elsewhere to be able to press on and execute multiple series at once. It's good to have dreams, folks. But now's the point where I have to get to insulting people. I have a Patreon, and there is a Patreon goal, which has me insulting fuckers who invest too much damn money. If you'll give me a moment, hold on. Figured it'd actually help to pull this up. Here we go. Remember this creating Let's Get On With Adventures. We have various tiers of poor life choices, a Discord role, I send you a postcard, and then an update video insult category. It's great and wonderful, and in no way reflects horrifically stupid life choices. This month I have 11 people to insult, and if trends are continuing, I'm going to have 12 next month. So, let's get this party started, shall we? First off, we have Nick King, who is the winner here at $55. It's not the first time you've been up here at the top, Nick. This is a $25 tier, and you're contributing $55. That is double the $25 tier. I don't actually have anything beyond the $25 tier, though I did ingest at one point involving Daggerfall and a shitty character ideas. So yeah, Nick, you're the king of beyond poor life choices. You still only get one fucking postcard. You'd be better off making multiple Patreon accounts and... Oh shit, this is a terrible idea. Don't do this. I'm gonna have to buy more stamps. But you would be better off just getting multiple postcards and then confusing me when I look at the addresses and like shipping, and I'm like, it's the same fucking address. Nick King, you son of a bitch. Yeah, fucking stupid. Longshot137, we've talked before about your marriage of alphanumeric characters in your username. You explained why that's the case. $25.01, you know? You know, there was a whole, like, conversation that happened last decade about getting rid of the fucking penny, and you're a prime example of why that needs to be getting rid of. Like, the 1 cent numeration in both digital currency as well as hard currency just needs to be smelted and made into an Iron Maiden in which to place and decapsule your body. Fucking piece of shit. Ponderfish, welcome to Beyond Poor Life Choices. I'm pondering how fucking stupid you are. What the fuck? Like, oh, I think it's a great idea to come up here, Merry Grimness! Just shitting money and you haven't even gotten rid of. I'm pretty sure you haven't. So, yeah. One person did. One person made the right choice in getting rid of their immense amounts of money that they're throwing at me, which is for the best. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't you, so you could have almost had a compliment there, but you don't because you're fucking stupid, and you need to reflect on your life. Good, we had that talk. Lieutenant Smash, I like... How do you even still have a rank? Just fucking smashing keys at this point. Have you forgotten that you're giving me money? Maybe they just handle things differently in Germany. Like, just... you deserve the postcards. I've regularly polled my patrons, or have attempted to, on a few occasions, to ask them whether, they're getting, like, the cards that I send them, and very few people contribute to, like, these questions that I ask into the ether, so I think you people just, like, fire and forget this money. Am I gonna have to save you all from yourselves if I just, like, block all of you as patrons, and then, like, unblock you all? Will that work? We have Necrolotu here. First-time offender as a patron, but... been around for a while. Seen some shit. Did you just... Merry fucking Christmas? Like, why? The fuck is wrong with you? Dumb cunt. Perpentock? I don't even like that word, but we're throwing it out because it's a fucking insult. The word, of course, I was referring to is dumb. Been a repeat offender. Good for you. You're going places. $25 at a time. You're making dreams come true. Zachary McKinley, who has had some patron processing issues, is here. Congratulations. This is the part where I throw in an insult about how Canada addresses work and how fucking disgusting it is to write on the postcard every single time. They're fucking stupid. Every single one of them. Tiny shopkeeper, the keeper of tiny shops. No wonder why your shop is of insufficient size because you keep giving me fucking money. This has happened for years. You fucking smelly fucking money that you've hoarded up like a fucking dragon and just give to me for whatever godforsaken reason. I don't like knit you socks. I don't like create tapestries. I don't have flowing calligraphy. I just every now and then upload videos on the channel and sometimes continue with rewarding the rewarders requests that you make. Mog, you've been waiting for this fucking moment to be insulted, and I gotta say, like, you know, I talked about Canada's addresses earlier. They're worse than yours. Your address, though, confuses me. It has confused me before at times. I'm like, what the hell? How does anyone know where they live? I've made enough references about how you and Star, the hated people. By the way, not insulting Star this time. It's a novel fucking concept. So that leaves you, Mog, here alone in the fucking... The pinnacle, like the peak of shit. Like, a long storied survivor, like numerous scars in your body, just like clawing forth one Kupo at a time. Like tin cup, like shaking, holding out for insults that don't actually come. Because as we all know, this is Corporate Grimith's sly wink. This is basically just me giving you all a bunch of fucking shoutouts. That's what this is. Just fucking like glorious like mental masturbation. Ooh, he just shouted out my name. Oh, it's great. But yes, it's a cloak of veneer of me just talking shit about you all, which really isn't actually severe. Speaking of that, Applejack, Cloudscape. You know, I'm looking here at lifetime category, and of all the folks who've given money over the course of the lifetime of this Patreon, you're actually at the top. $306.02. Why? This is the part where I make a tasteless, like, brony comment, talk about, like, your lack of ability to decorate yourself, you know, accuse you spending too much time at shady conventions, and demanding that you make better financial choices. Okay? Just imagine that I said something that was really scathing, and cut you deeply to the pony bone, or the bony. Oh my god. I'm fucking done with myself. That cut me deep to the bony. Fuck. And Sentinel, guarding the rear here, just fucking, like, really? Sentinel's like, I gotta fucking go after that. This keeps happening every single fucking time. Why? I gave just as much fucking money, $25, as almost all these other assholes, and you have to fucking follow up my insult. That is the greatest insult I could deliver to you. Right there at the end. Awkward transition straight to you and talking about how terrible you are. Your address, by the way. Like, there's a few other Australian addresses I write out, but every single time yours. It's a fucking fraction. Your address is a fraction. And it's fucking keeps fucking bothering me. Quit it. That's not how address. It's like a fucking Kingdom Hearts game title. That's how fucking stupid where you live is. And we need to rectify that, please. I don't want to make any more postcards. I already have to buy more international stamps. Please, folks, just make better choices. Okay? It's within your power. That said, the financial support is buoying me, and I appreciate the resources. It allows me to buy all of the hopes and dreams that I could otherwise not afford to. Which, in summertime, will involve air conditioner. Okie dokie? Okie dokie. So keep up your beyond poor life choices, fuel corporate Grimace dreams, and maybe one day you'll receive something more. When actually that's not true. But we'll give you a sly wink, as we slowly transition into me finding more and more ways to get your money and becoming more and more blatant about it. Eventually, I'm just going to be J Squared John Jeremy. That's what's going to happen at this point. Money! Great. Hashtag blame Grimith. That takes care for this update. I talked quite a bit. I've got other things to do with my Monday, so I'm a fucking go now. But, yeah. There's what you have to look forward to or not. You'll figure it out, probably. Take care, do good deeds, get fucked. Like those people who gave me money. But, you know, that probably satisfied a fetish. Isn't that right, Applejack?